I think the Christian Bale Batman movies were like a 6 at best. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, no one would ever believe someone would say something so stupid.
Honestly, though, I think at most I'd rate those movies like an 8. I was never really that big of a fan of those movies.
I don't.
The first one, yes. The other two, I was like, I don't really know.
What do you mean? The Dark Knight is the best one.
You know what?
That's arguably one of the best superhero movies of all time.
No, I don't fuck with Heath Ledger's Joker. This is how I'm gonna start off this video.
That is the most controversial take I think you've ever said, and wrong, just absolutely wrong.
I just don't like those movies. I don't. That's wrong. I liked them, but I don't think they're the shit.
This is just a wrong take.
I actually prefer Robert Pattinson's Batman. I just like that whole world a lot more. The Riddler compared to, if we're going one for ones, I still think Ra's is probably better. But I don't know. I did like his acting though. How do I feel about that?
However you feel is the wrong way, because there's no.
I just don't like him.
You're just wrong.
I just don't like that Joker. I think about it now, looking at all the comic and spirits and stuff. I just don't think that Joker's like what I want in a Joker.
And that's just wrong.
No, and I rewatched the animated series some years ago, and I'm like, this Joker fucks. He really does. I don't know what drugs or gods Mark Hamill prays to before he plays Joker, man. But he's too goated, bro. I'm so high. Hold on, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. That's how we started off this episode. You know, get people's fucking retention real quick.
You know, I think you can make a good comic story without having the characters be exactly the same as their predecessors. I think that's what the Dark Knight trilogy does.
But that's what I don't want. I don't want that.
Well, you're just wrong. That's just a bad take. That's just a bad take.
And don't even get me started on that fucking suit. I fucking hate the Dark Knight. All 3 of those suits are ass.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. That's a fair take.
That's another thing. I also hate... Okay, you know what? I take that back. I like Heath Ledger's Joker. He's okay. He's not in my, top 5.
How is he not top 5?
Oh, he looks... That straggly hair looks way too weird. I think what makes Joker
You're just going off of design?
No. I'm not just strictly talking about design. I don't like that entire movie's aesthetic. I fucking hate it. I like when Joker is clean. It makes sense for him. It's like the chaotic nature of it being clean while being the Joker is like nice. I just don't like the whole raggedy look with him. I never liked that. That's another reason. But I really hate that bat. Out of the things I hated about that movie, the bat suit's on the fucking top one of that. Except the tumbler. I like the tumbler. The tumbler was a fucking goofy ass thing that I was able to roll with. And that is the art.
Bro might have the worst Batman takes.
No, that was all rage bait. I love those movies. I just wanted to piss you off.
I was about to say there's no way you actually believe that.
No, but I do. But in terms of order of those movies, I go 1, 2, and 3. Unironically, or no?
I think.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
that is.
I really like that first one. I really like the whole.
Scarecrow's good. I love Scarecrow.
Yeah, I go 1, 2, and 3 on that.
But I think 2 is just too iconic.
It's okay. I don't think it's labeled the greatest superhero movie of all time. I really don't. It's good.
What movie does take that label?
Of all of them? Like on a
of any movie. Any superhero movie, what's the greatest superhero movie?
See, I have a thing, right? I have a list in my mind, right? Mm. If the first movie, right, of anything, right? No. Of all time, I guess that doesn't apply to that one. Hold on, let me think. Of all time. I'd have to rewatch it, so this is not a guaranteed answer, but I really, really fuck with the first Captain America movie. I like that one. If you want me to throw you a curveball, I love the first Captain America movie. I think there's so many good things done right in that movie that I would defend that one. Do I like the second one?
I might have
pretty good.
I might have bias because that's like the first Marvel movie I watched, but I have to kind of agree with you. And since that movie, I have liked Captain America more than Iron Man.
Yeah. Out of all of them, greatest superhero movies. Off the top of my dome, no research, haven't rewatched them in a fat ass bit. Also, I'm trying a new hairstyle. If you haven't noticed, it probably needs a little bit of volume, but off the top of the dome, first Captain America, and then I really fuck with Iron Man 1. I love Iron Man 1. I do. I really love the CGI in that movie. I think Tony was done pretty well. So I'd go Captain America, Iron Man 1. Then I would go the first Batman movie. Okay. I don't think I count Spawn. Spawn's like a cult classic, and that one's just kind of.
We're just going top 5 right now.
Top 5, but these aren't really in order. They're all kind of in a jumbled mess in my head.
That's fair.
And then I would go the second Spider-Man movie, the Sam Raimi.
That's funny because I think I actually like the first one more than the second one.
I'm tied. That one's a 50-50. I can't tell if I like the overall story of 2 versus just the character of the Green Goblin in the first one. And then who would I say would be my 5th? Who would I'd have to go Endgame. No, not Endgame. Infinity War and Endgame. So the last 2 are about like 50-50 on those ones. So those would be my top 5.
You know, fair. That's fair. No. I think generally what makes like a good superhero movie these days is how well it stands alone against, like, if you have to watch another movie to appreciate that movie, then I feel like it's not as good of a movie. But if you can just watch that movie solo without prior knowledge, I think that makes it great.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to this week's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious. I'm host Caleb. That's co-host Alex.
Oh my God! Wait a minute? I just noticed. Did you fix the camera?
No.
It hasn't stuttered.
I think it might just be because I'm wearing a bright color. Oh, there
Never
it is.
mind, it fucking stuttered.
There it is.
I fucking spoke too soon.
There it is. There's a
He's
stutter.
back. The heart pulse.
The pulse. Anyway, do we have any news today?
I could talk lengthy about Bungie and its history and how I think the minute it sold itself to Microsoft was its date of doom. There was an end date to when that company would last. So, other than what I can go on for about a 40-minute tangent, Bungie's going through some bullshit for like the 4th time, possibly copying somebody and then maybe going into a lawsuit. Absolutely insane. Fall of an industry giant. Gone like that. Helldivers is good though. I'm gonna be playing it right after this.
Super Earth's in danger.
Why are we here? We should be gaming.
We honestly should. We are doing a disservice to Super Earth by recording
I played
this
earlier
right
today.
now.
I put in my hours. So
I'll have to put them in later. But yeah, that's pretty much it for news. Bungie being stupid.
Absolutely insane.
To the surprise of no one at this point, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I don't know how they keep hiring people that just steal. It's really weird. I don't get it.
Do you think businesses? Do you think businesses have that as like a requirement for hiring at this point? They're like, "Are you capable of swindling people out of money? You're hired."
Yeah, it's totally harmful. The entire Marathon's ruined as a game. There's no way that game's gonna be. We might have Concord 2, bro. I don't think
Concord 2.
Like, I wanted to play Marathon, I really did, but at this point, with them having to overhaul everything, it's just like, dog, just give up. So what's crazy is Sony Sony won the console wars. It bought Bungie, and now it's going to strip Bungie for all its pieces and then put them in different studios.
Did Sony really win the console war though?
I guess in terms of getting like a major studio like Bungie, yeah, kind of. I guess it's not win, but like win a battle more than win a war. So it's just like now they have Bungie. They're probably going to end up separating it because they fell through with their thing with Marathon and Destiny, and now it's GG's. It's over, bro. Bungie is no more. You will never get a good game out of them ever again for probably a very, very long time. And you know what's ultimately worst? My hate for CEOs has had a Super Saiyan 3 level increase on it, bro. Because it really is, and it does sound like the top of Bungie might be filled with some of the most greediest previous Microsoft execs ever. Ever. It's insane. It's genuinely fucking crazy. Other than that, I think other than anything crazy news-wise, other than political stuff that, I don't want to get into, nothing really. My father was listening to Sabrina Carpenter today while I took him to go get his meds, and I don't get that.
Me every night.
No, it wasn't that one. It was Bed Chem. I'm like, what the why are you listening to this?
I don't even know which one that is.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard like 2 of her songs ever.
Yeah, no, it's other than that, bro, it's been dry news week, we'll say that.
Dry news month a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're continuing the dry news spell. I thought I saw something the other day, but apparently it was not important enough that I could possibly remember it.
Yeah.
Anything I can see? Yeah. It's been a quiet It's already Memorial Day. Almost.
That is true. Yeah.
Well, this episode will air on Memorial Day, so yeah, that's a true statement. How is that possible? How are we already at the end of May?
No, it's my stand, made in heaven, cycling through all the days. So we
May,
to my birthday.
Made in heaven.
Maiden, as they say in the dub version, which I think is fucking hilarious.
May is gone heaven.
Yeah, May's just fucking. I hope June doesn't go by that fast, but it probably will.
Probably will, honestly. But hey, we get to start off June with a new console.
That's right, Switch 2.
I'm excited.
You know what's crazy though? I heard some controversy about it with the C button or whatever.
There's been like, so much controversy with that console, and none of it is actually like valid outside of just being like, I don't really want to pay more for a console or for games. And it's like, I get it, but also like, then I mean, it's not anything to be angry about. Just don't purchase the console.
But Caleb, I want to be angry.
You can be angry. Focus on me. You can be angry.
Keys.
See, if I did keys, that would make my issue worse.
It probably would.
But no. If you want to be angry, I guess be angry. Like you're just being miserable for no reason at that point. Because like, honestly, all that's gonna happen is either A, it doesn't sell good because the prices weren't set at a price that was fair, or it does end up still selling well, and Nintendo just makes money. So I like, there's really like, there's no reason to be angry. Just don't buy it. It's that easy.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah, other than that, I don't really know what else in terms of news what we could talk about. It's all a whole lot of and a whole lot of nothing.
Really nothing. Just gaming news mostly. That's really about it. And the gaming news isn't even like new news. It's just people still rehashing the same stuff over and over.
Gotta regurgitate the slop. See if
pretty much. Also, this is the last thing I'll say in regards to people complaining about the Switch 2 is I've been seeing videos on TikTok of people being like, what's funny is people are spreading news, fake news, mind you, about the Switch 2 and complaining about it, telling people not to buy it. And those same people who are doing this are making so much money off of these videos that they will be able to buy multiple Switch 2s.
Probably, yeah.
So like people,
they're rage baiting you, bro.
They're just it's not even rage baiting. They're just like they're just
feathers.
They're rage in. I guess it is technically. I guess it would be rage baiting, but it's more rage baiting in the idea of like they're like not trying to make people angry, but just feeding into people's anger to get themselves more money. So not the typical haha funny rage bait, that the rage bait that's like, man, you're just being annoying.
Yeah, there we go. That one makes sense.
Yeah. That's the summary of it.
Yeah. So what is today's topic?
I think today's topic
African jazz. That's just a random tangent.
What?
I love African jazz. It's not black jazz, not black American jazz.
It's from Africa.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's pretty cool.
I got into it. I love jazz. Put the
you like jazz?
Yeah, I love jazz.
Anyway, awesome. This week's episode is going to be kind of a simple one. We are going to talk about. I think Earth needs a balance patch. We need a good update. You know what I mean?
Corporations take a 75% decrease in all stats.
That exactly. You get the idea. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's brainstorm ideas of how Earth in the 20.25 balance patch update can go.
What would I do? What would I do for?
So I'm going to say first one that is an absolute necessity, that we need to patch out the infinite poop glitch. We need to get rid of that. The infinite wipe glitch. The fact that still exists makes that needs to be gone.
Wait. Is it a glitch or is it a feature?
They needed to remove it no matter what. Remove that. If it's a feature, it was a bad feature. Get rid of it.
Okay, I'm gonna go on a sidetrack with that update or that buff. Is it a buff or like a bug removal?
I think that would be a bug removal. Okay, that's nearly game breaking, I'd have to say. Hey, welcome to the club.
Hold on. Why is it? Okay, there we go. I can't lean too far back. I'll set up my chair then.
I feel like you zooming in more actually made that more of a problem.
There we go. Hold on, I'm gonna. I get new update for Alex's room. A new chair. Support me on Patreon. This is, oh my god, bro! This fucking Titan chair worn out. This thing is not.
You've had that forever.
I know. I'm gonna get like a proper like office chair, but I'm gonna keep the pillow.
Like this one.
I would get one of those. Or I know there's a different brand that kind of does the same thing. I just need lower back support, bro. This chair does not do it anymore. I broke it.
You broke it?
No. I don't know how, but there's a little spinner right here on the side. You can't see it, but my hand's touching it over here.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I maybe I had it at max, and maybe I leaned too far back into it, and it just snapped. And it's been like in a bad posture for this whole time. So that's what I would update. It's just for a single person.
I would suggest that update should come for the Alex birthday event is when that update should happen.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be later into the month like a fucking Capcom event for whatever fucking reason. Who releases? I didn't even play Raid Out, bro, because they decided to fucking release that so later on.
I don't know why they did that.
And now I'm playing Helldivers, bro.
Yeah.
Now you got to get my attention again.
Go back to our main game, Helldivers.
Fucking love
our fallback. But yeah, I think as summer comes along, this is also a necessity update. Is debuff mosquitoes. Mosquitoes need a debuff.
I have to argue for this. I have to argue for the mosquitoes. They've already had a debuff. over the past like 20 years, bug populations have plummeted,
No,
especially
not
mosquitoes.
even,
So if
but I'm not
anything,
speaking population wise. I'm talking about the individual mosquito needs
uh-huh.
a debuff. Like having disease carry as a perk is just unnecessary and broken.
Okay, so you're just talking about it like okay, like that, just like we're nerfing a perk. I
Like
agree. I agree.
nerf disease carry, and I think this would count as a buff for them, but make it so their bites don't itch anymore.
I think
Get
you
rid
might
of
have
the
made a
itchy bites.
I think you made a controversial buff that actually works in favor. You still keep them a top tier,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're just annoying with the buzz. But I think we have to leave the buzz. The buzz is their whole feature.
The buzz is like a bug feature. Like
Yeah.
that feature is what bugs are kind of that's like a base to their buff if you or to their class. So if you get rid of that, that could possibly break the game.
What's another feature I'd do?
But
Okay,
honestly, I'm saying it though. Like that makes sense though, right? You get rid of the
yeah.
disease carrying perk, but then you get rid of the fact that they make you itch when they bite you. And that makes it so much better for both parties because then they could you can just siphon blood to them without even caring, and they get what they need to eat and not have to worry about getting swatted.
Okay, I agree. Okay, it'll be my turn. What would I buff or nerf? Buff or nerf? What would I do? Or maybe install a new thing.
Install.
I would. This is gonna be a wild one. Increase the total amount of breathable air by volume by 50%.
Hmm.
To see what just happens.
Elaborate what you think would happen.
Everything would get bigger.
Okay.
Crops would
Scientifically
get bigger.
accurate.
Yeah. And that's all. What the fuck? Why is WhatsApp texting me? Oh, motherfucker. Now they're doing AI. Put that on the news. Let's drop WhatsApp.
Let's drop WhatsApp.
Oh, that was Nat. Now, so yeah, I would just throw in a crazy ass just like feature, just or not. It's more of a buff to the overall breathable air by 50%, and that's all I would do. Ooh, okay. I'll save it for the next one. You go now. So that's what I would do, just to make everything bigger.
So I think this kind of coincides with what you just said. I think we need a change in like environment. I think we need an overall buff in plant growth overall. And I think we need like a event that like lasts not even an event. This should be like the new feature for life is overgrown plant life in cities. Like have plants take over buildings.
So just what they have in Malaysia.
Yes.
In the Malaysian airport. Nat wants to go to that one. Speak of the devil, she shall appear. She just texted me.
Yes, we need that.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people like it. A lot of people do like the you know what that would ironically do? If you put plant life in cities like that, gardeners would get a pay increase.
That's true.
You end up making a booming job market there.
But whether that comes through human action, well, I guess regardless, it would probably be human action. Human action through we intended for that to be the case, or if we started a war and destroyed a bunch, and all that's left is the decrepit cities and the plant life takes over. Either way, I mean, I think that's almost a necessity that is needed is the overgrowth of plants.
Yeah, I put my foot on my fucking desk. Okay, so I forgot what I wanted to say previous to that one. Oh no, I remember. Okay, because this is going to be a pretty game-changing feature I'm going to add. Not a buff or a debuff. It's a whole new feature. Everything becomes biodegradable. Everything.
Fair. That would completely change the game.
I would wonder what would happen. Now, not all of it's going to be good biodegradable, right? Everything would still have levels to it, but everything by process will be biodegradable. So, maybe all plastic is capped at like 300 years or something like that. So it still would exist. Oh my God, he's manhandling me. He's grabbing me by my balls.
That did nothing. That did absolutely nothing.
No.
Accomplished nothing by doing that. But yeah, I like that. Make everything biodegradable.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's one I would do.
Can we get
one's absolutely wild?
Can we get a new species added to the game?
We get new species every year, Caleb.
Can one be unveiled though? Like a major new species unveiled?
Sure, we
can we get that? I'd like to see that.
All like friendly and like happy and just like, yeah, man, we got a little birdie or something, or like, it's like something cool, like a new type of like, I don't know, whale.
Yeah, cool. Nice. A new, if we got a Leviathan class creature added to life, that would be crazy. I guess what I'm more saying is, I don't want it to be like a boring thing. I want it to be like something cool, like a massive beast that is like a mythical thing, or once thought mythical and now it's like, oh wow, it's real.
You like just get an actual kraken. That actually might be possible.
Like a kraken would be cool. That would be pretty cool. Or like a thunderbird. That would be pretty cool.
That oxygen buff I gave you might actually coincide with that if it actually happens.
But this new update might be crazy with that oxygen buff.
Yeah. So I'll do another one for you.
Okay.
So you want to know my next? This is more of an event than a featured bug or debuff, right? So you want to know what the event is?
What's the event?
Resurrected Hitler. We have to fight.
Explain.
We have to fight. All the countries in unison have to fight Resurrected Hitler.
Can I add on to that?
Go ahead.
Let's make it a Halloween event. Make it zombies.
That's what it is. It's
Nazi zombies.
Yeah. But nobody gets infected. It's just the undead all coming back. So there's like
every
hundreds of billions of like undead people that just come from back from the dead.
Are they
all being headlined by Hitler?
All being led by Hitler. Every person who is on the wrong side of history, who has died, joins forces.
That'd be a crazy team, bro.
The great beyond as zombies.
Sinister Six of humanity is nuts.
The Sinister Six of humanity. Who
would be Hitler, Stalin, maybe Julius Caesar, depending on your opinion. Mao. One of the Viking kings. That one of them has to be fucked up. The original Queen Elizabeth.
There you go.
No, was he? No. I take her back.
Normal Queen Elizabeth.
What one of the king? Oh no, the Belgian king of Congo. The guys who own the Belgian king. Right there. That's the Sinister Six of humanity.
There we go.
Might be missing like a Chinese emperor in there, but we'll give him a pass.
Perfect.
Right there. That's and
Sinister Six of humanity.
Yeah.
All right. That's the Halloween event. I think that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you go now.
I think that we need. Let me think. I think we just need a buff in events in general. We need more events going on. Like we don't get enough events.
We really don't.
Buff the Halloween event just in general. Christmas needs a buff.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or a complete overhaul update.
Maybe.
Because I don't think people appreciate the holiday enough anymore.
I don't think they do.
I think Thanksgiving just got a buff recently. But bring back normal Sprite Cranberry and the commercial. That's the buff that's what we need. That needs to be brought back to the game.
Okay. Who okay. So my next one is gonna be a little bit cray-cray.
Okay.
So randomly, every year from this year on forward, right?
Okay.
Everybody will get a simultaneously disembodied voice say one thing to the entire population of Earth, and it is random. No. Better. It's a disembodied voice that takes all of Joe Biden's comments over his entire life, and they're just randomly spewed out one time a year. So it could have been the most craziest shit he's ever said, and then everybody would have to hear it just once. It could just be like, "I want a cheese pizza." What the fuck?
What the heck?
Or something like that. Every year from this year moving on forward.
That
So every sentence he has ever spoken, you will get one of it every year.
would that almost sounds like it's a bug in the code.
Real.
Like, you just get a random text box in front of you from a character, and you're just like, why is this? Why?
What the fuck's wrong with my game, bro?
Why did this just show up?
Like, imagine Joe Biden's had to at least say one slur, right?
Mhm.
So over the course of how many years, eventually we will land on a random slur, and everybody just said, "Who just said the N-word?
Who just said
What
that?
the fuck?
Who said
Who
that?
just said that?" But nobody will be able to figure it out. Okay,
No,
another thing too,
no.
on top of this random event, nobody will be able to figure out it's Joe Biden. So it's just Joe Biden's voice, but nobody can recognize it. Why American people? Who the fuck was that?
Who said
But
that?
it's clearly a president. But you're like, who the fuck?
All right, here's what I'm gonna add. I think they need to fully implement multiplayer into Dreams. Buff Dreams too.
I think it'd be too laggy.
The dream buff. That's what we need. A dream update. I need dreams. Make it so dreams occur more often.
Okay, I got a good debuff coming up. Okay, keep going.
Dreams need to occur more often. Be more vivid.
Okay.
Add multiplayer.
Okay.
And what else? Debuff dreams that reduce the occurrence of dreams where you dream about somebody that you haven't seen in a long time.
Ooh, yeah. Real.
The dream update.
Okay. I'm down with that one. Okay, so here's a debuff on the patch notes.
Okay.
All elderly people, in terms of their role to society, get debuffed by 25%.
Good.
So nobody starts taking elderly people's like advice. So this is good and bad. So this is playing fair. So there's old people who giving good advice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, should I just say bad advice? No, I want universal to be funny. So universally, all old people past the age of 75 cannot give. Nobody, even if they give a good take, nobody will take it seriously. So it's like 25% less effective. So if an old person's just saying some fucking stupid shit, it's in the ground. Nobody's gonna believe them. It's like, what are you talking about? They over their head, gone. So that's the debuff I would give on that one.
All right. Here's mine. Billionaires get a debuff. Their lifespan decreases by, I'll be fair, let's say 35%. Permanent decrease. Moment you become a billionaire, you get a permanent life debuff by 35%.
So wouldn't all these guys be dead by like fucking 60?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Pretty much.
Most of the richest men in the world are like 70, you know?
There you go. I think that's a good debuff.
35% just be like 34 years.
Well, what's the average lifespan of
an average lifespan of a human is like 70 to 80 years.
70. So how much would
What's 35% of 70? Right? Is that how I would? That's how you phrase it? Or this is how I would phrase it.
Okay, so that takes about 24 years off their life.
Oh, they'd be dead.
25.
All these guys would be dead. Yeah, they'd
I
all
think
be
that's
dead.
fair.
By like 60.
I think that's fair. I think that's
no.
If you're gonna have that much money, you better.
Okay.
But I'll be fair. They get the money earlier in life, but they have to figure out how to use it faster before they die inevitably at like 50.
Here's a good way to balance it out. I can't believe I'm in favor for billionaires right now. If they actually give away their money and become a multi-millionaire again, it saves them.
Let's not say just giving it away, but I'll say they put it to the betterment of humanity. If they give it to the more, we'll say it's like a certain percentage of their wealth, however much that percent is given to benefit humanity, that they get a certain percent of lifespan back.
Yeah, okay, I would agree with that. So it's a max debuff of 25%, and then it just builds over time.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with that. That one's fair. That's balanced.
Yeah, there you go. So it
balanced thing for billionaires. That's
it incentivizes billionaires to be better people, and if they're not, they only live to like 55.
I agree. Okay.
Do we limit it to billionaires though, or should we just say like rich
everybody
people?
Would be nuts? What's a rich people? Then?
That's true. So is that why we should just limit it to billionaires for the initial?
I would actually end up saying multi-millionaires too.
Multi-millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah, because if Kendrick can give back to his community, any multi-millionaire can.
There you go.
So this is that. The minimum is Kendrick Lamar. If you're not like Kendrick Lamar, you're cooked, bro. You're getting that 25% debuff. You were dying by 60.
35. It's a 35% debuff.
Oh, 35? Oh yeah, you're dying by maybe 55.
55 would be the life expectancy for anybody who's rich.
Yeah.
That's like the baseline.
Yeah.
So yeah, perfect.
If I were to go with a new one. So this is going to be a crazy buff. You might not like it.
Okay.
Alligators are everywhere now. They're multi-habitable.
They already are multi-habitable though, so it would just be
no. They can live in the desert now without water.
Ooh.
They can also be in the Antarctic.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Everywhere.
This might be a banger update. Hold on.
What the fuck? I made the most terrible. I made one of the craziest predators on the entire planet. Multi-habitable, bro. We're cooked.
Can I add to that?
Sure, go ahead.
Add land sharks as well. Add land sharks and land whales.
But whales are chill, though.
Exactly. Add them too.
Okay.
We're going to have whales in the mountains, whales in the forests.
Imagine taking a leisurely stroll through like Yellowstone and you just see a fucking blue whale just going.
But not like floating. They have to like have like.
Oh, they're swimming in the ground. They can note clip.
Yeah,
giving whales, sharks, giving note clip, and then sharks just can be on. Alligators and crocodiles can just be on land.
Yeah, I'm more thinking like for sharks in specific that they specifically reside in the desert once they're land sharks, so they swim through the sand.
Okay.
And whales don't no clip through the ground. They now are quadrupedal and walk. Or
so
bipedal.
You just devolved. That was an insane update. Okay, I agree. All right.
I think that'd make it interesting because I think that also adds on to the more megafauna update.
Ooh, real.
So I think it would be your turn again.
My turn again? Okay.
Yeah.
So then I would do. I don't know how funny this is going to be. All alarms are now replaced by kiwis.
Oh, I thought you meant the fruit.
No.
I was like, man, you just debuffed humanity.
Yeah, all alarms are now just kiwis just going. Are they do Caleb and Post play the kiwi fucking screaming? That's what you wake up to every morning, and you can't get rid of the kiwi. You might kill the kiwi, but then it respawns. It just comes back.
So added pet kiwi update.
Yeah. You don't need to feed it. You don't need to do anything. It's just your alarm clock. It might not even do anything else. It might just stay in one position the entire time, but its one job is to wake you up at the appropriate time. Now, here's the thing about this little bit of a bit of a new thing to add to the environment. It will wake you up for the most optimal day, right? So, personally for you, every kiwi's different. This kiwi is attached to you by the soul. So, like, you might wake up at 9, looking at me, right? I wake up usually at 9 or something. But in order to fully optimize my day, my kiwi might, with me in specific, wake me up at 7. So imagine somebody being like, you're a motivated person, but you wake up late. We're waking up at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning now. The kiwi does that for you. That's what the kiwi does.
I think that's good. That might actually be a buff to humanity, depending on how we use it. Here's my update. I'm going to call it the partner pet update. Any companion pet that's like domesticated, like I'll say horses, dogs, cats, even birds, but birds are kind of already like this. I'll even give it to rodents as well. Pet rodents specifically. They all gain the ability to speak.
Can I add on that one?
Yeah.
They all speak in a Jamaican accent.
No, I think you can choose their accent.
Okay, I want to make it funnier. You can choose the accent, but they kind of speak like your grandpa.
No, we can't. We can't have this. Do you press the button scenario? This is actually a beneficial, good thing.
Okay.
Or
I know what I'm going to do with my next one.
Or alternatively, we could have it where it's like Monster Hunter, where they still just meow and make their animal noises, but you now gain the ability to understand what they're saying.
I like that one. I'd rather hear a cat meow than see him just talk.
Okay.
This would be freaky. I'd rather understand them.
Should we have that be like the choice, or should it just be the standard that we understand animals?
Okay, you get a choice. You get a choice to switch it off, but by default, it's just meow. Oh, really? You want a sandwich?
I think that's good, because I think that not only makes it better for cooperation with our already companion pets, but it also makes it so we gain newfound knowledge through what they know as animals.
There's going to be so many cheating accusations. Who's that woman that showed up the other day, Dale? Yeah, Dale. Who showed up the other day?
Who showed up? The cats, dudes, you guys gotta start taking care of your kids. I've had to stop them from jumping off the balcony like 4 times this week.
What the fuck? That'd be crazy. Okay, I like that one. So is it my turn or your turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, my turn. I'm gonna do a debuff. You're not gonna like this one.
Okay.
You're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna do it. All eggs are 15% smaller.
Why?
Sometimes, the developers throw in a fucking a nerf that nobody fucking likes.
Can I add on to that?
What would we add on to it?
They're smaller, but they have an increased spawn rate.
Agree.
But like a significant increase. 3 times.
Jesus Christ, I think that unironically debuffs the chickens because they would die from unless the chickens get buffed too.
Or I guess
all birds. Yeah,
technically, with the new oxygen and the increase in food would probably make it easier for the new egg buff to happen.
Okay, interesting. All right, I have another one, but you can go. I have a funny idea.
Okay, this one not as crazy, but might be crazy. We need a debuff on summer, buff on winter. Make winter colder, make summer a little cooler.
I agree.
We don't need to get past 90 degrees in the summer. I think that's unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
But we need to stay below freezing during the winter consistently. Like the moment it hits December, we should not see the temperature dial go above 31.
Agree. I agree.
All right.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, next one. This one's going to be a little bit of a double whammy. You might not like this one. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think you're going to like this one at all. This one might actually ruffle your feathers.
Okay.
Everybody who fishes is guaranteed to get a fish. However, nothing else changes, which by default, with everybody guaranteed to get a fish, means fish populations decline.
I'm going to veto that.
No,
but
can't veto it. It's on the list.
No, I think fish populations should increase. I think they should still.
This is just another terrible debuff.
That would be game breaking and kill everyone. We can't have that. You still have your algae and stuff. That still make the oxygen producers still are there. Everybody just cast the fishes less now. If every player could then catch a fish, that would mean there's 100% success rate on fish death.
Yeah.
So no fish could ever survive, meaning that the oceans would deplete of all life within months.
Yeah. So then I'd also add this: humans not can photosynthesize.
No, I'm vetoing the decrease in fish population.
You never liked any of my ideas, goddammit.
I'm saying buff fish spawn rate. If we're gonna have 100% catch rate on fish, then we have to have like a 500% increase in fish spawn rate.
Okay, hold on. I'll switch it up. This is the new one. Okay, 100% catch rate on fish, but there is a. Oh, I'll even out the numbers in my head. It's never the fish you want. About like 85% of the time.
How about this? We make it Animal Crossing rules. You always know exactly where a fish is.
Okay.
And it makes it, you have a higher probability. Like if you throw out your line directly in front of the fish, the fish is guaranteed to notice it and will take bite at your line. But you are not guaranteed to catch it. But if you time it correctly, you are guaranteed to catch.
Oh, okay. So all we did is we added a fucking quick time event. We've actually made just fishing just ass.
That arguably makes it better.
Or would it be a buff?
That would be a buff for people who are not as good at catching fish. It'd make it easier for them to catch fish because then you'd know where the fish are. Add on fish spawn rate buff. So there's more fish for people to catch. But like you can't make it too easy. Like you can still fish the normal way of just kind of sitting and eventually a fish will come up and take. But you can always tell where a fish is at all times.
Okay. I'll throw it out like this. Okay, we'll try to even this out. So the guaranteed fish that are there are below average. Well, right. So it makes it easier for new players to get fish, but the optimal strategy is still to fish randomly.
Is to do the random fish.
Yeah. So all we've done is we just made it better for noobs. That's all we've done.
Okay.
So I don't even think we need to increase fishes because it'd still be fish, but it's like not really good fish.
Increase fish spawn rate for lower level fish who are easier to catch.
Real.
and give a slight spawn rate buff to the higher level fish.
Yeah.
Because
But not by too much.
Not by too much, because that would destroy the ecosystem, but give it enough that with the high players catching, like it'll basically be where the ecosystem can survive despite the fact that new players can now almost be guaranteed a fish.
Real. Okay, I agree with that. We really leveled that one out. Is this how like development buff and nerf board meetings go? Somebody just gives out an idea and then they all just start yapping on it?
Because you have to take into account that it could destroy the game.
Okay.
Because your idea would have destroyed the game.
I'm just throwing out fucking the shit people get mad at when developers are like, "What the fuck did you add this for?" I'm like, I think genuinely they knew what they were doing. They just wanted to be an asshole.
They just wanted to suck.
Oh yeah, they just wanted to be a dick. Just for that, for like 3 weeks, and then they change it. Okay, you go, and I got another one. My other one's gonna be really funny.
Okay.
You're gonna like it.
I think we got time for probably these last two.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that we should have buff. Give a buff to chance for getting into relationships, specifically in high school. High school relationships get a boost.
I have to ask why does this need a buff?
Because
I'm just curious.
You need the tutorial early in the game on how to be in a partnership.
I'll help you with this one. So not an increased rate, right? But everybody gets
your
a tutorial.
You're guaranteed a few test runs.
Yes. So you know how it works.
Of how relationships work.
I wouldn't increase spawn rates on that. I would just give guaranteed tutorials that you can do all together and fail. So just like in a regular tutorial, if you don't know where the fucking A button is and you fucking button mash and someone do R3, it counts. You failed, but now you know for next time.
So that's what I would say. It's a tutorial that you can successfully accomplish and get a full-time relationship out of, or you can fail and you get 3 tries in the early stage, and then you have to go on and actually figure it out after that point.
I would also say it's a timed event too.
Okay.
So from freshman year to senior year.
Freshman year to senior year, you have 3 times that you are guaranteed a relationship chance. And within those times, you have to figure out how to be in a relationship. And if you fail all the 3 times, then you just got to take what you learned from those 3 chances.
And you got to use them in the wild.
But then you can succeed within those 3 times that you don't have to do that event again.
Okay. I like that one.
All right.
So I'll throw out mine. So mine is not a buff, a debuff, or an event. Maybe it counts as an event. But I'm adding a new character into the game.
Okay.
Sasquatch. But instead of him being mysterious, he's actually like Xur from Destiny. And if you have a specific material in your inventory and it's there, you can trade with Sasquatch. What he gives to you, I don't know. Well, we're still figuring that out. But like, if you meet Bigfoot, you can trade with him.
Is that added? An item. Is that added on to my existing bring in like megafauna of like legendary?
No. Bigfoot here is a mythical entity. He's just a really tall like.
But so is a Thunderbird.
Yeah, no. He's like 8 foot tall, hairy, really wide, but he doesn't count as megafauna. He's just he's a totally added character that you can trade with if you can find him. Really low spawn rate. He's like a wandering villager. So honestly, though, technically his trades might be ass.
Technically, doesn't that mean that nothing changes other than the fact that when you encounter him, instead of him running away, he becomes a trading partner.
That's it.
But
you don't know where he is.
That's the you already don't know where he is.
Exactly. So people would have to make like a chart to find him.
He's basically Herobrine, except for the fact that what you're adding now is you have the ability to trade with him.
Yeah, and he might have maybe a useful trade.
Like in the current game, he is basically the Herobrine of Earth. It's questioned whether or not he actually exists, and all he does is mess with other people and disappear. But
I don't think he messes with people. He just offers a trade. He's just weird.
But that's what you're adding. That's what you're adding is now instead of messing with people, he has the ability to trade.
Yeah. Like there might not be crazy trades. Like maybe there's one in there for like 20 random bucks for a piece of gold.
Random item trade. Every time you encounter him, it's out of every single item that exists on the planet is one in however many items that exist chance of getting a certain item. So
hold on, we have to clarify that. Is it human items or just all items?
All
everything
items.
In my room.
Every item.
Could he give you a house? Could he give you a permit to a house?
He could give you a house. Count? He could give you a home.
Could he give you the deed of the United States of America? Is it everything? He can really whoop out. Okay. What is the emerald equivalent here? Like $5?
So I think if it should be stated that these items have to be something that exists in multiples. So like you can't take something from another person. Like he doesn't take it from somebody else. Mm-hmm. It's just an item that can be readily found. Mm-hmm. Like you can get a GameCube from Bigfoot's trades, but you can't get like
a family heirloom.
A family heirloom or like the Declaration of Independence.
So how do houses count?
So a house would then be like you basically Animal Crossing, he pulls out a house that can then be placed and poof into a big house, Capsule Corp style.
But then you get so
you can have the house, but you don't have the property. So if you don't have the property, the house becomes useless.
So it's all random, or is it all like
completely random?
Is it true random, or is it like game random where there's still percentages on stuff?
True random. You never know what you're gonna ever get.
I love Bigfoot,
but it's Bigfoot all the same cost.
Okay, so what's the cost though? Like $10?
Let's say. Let's make it fair. Let's say like $150.
$150? I go $100. $100.
Because then it would be like, oh man, I got a really crappy item. I'm not gonna pay for that. But then you could get like a really good item for like $150, like a house for $150.
Could you get stocks from Bigfoot?
No.
Does that count?
It has to be something actually tangible.
So Bitcoin bros won't be on this. Okay.
No.
And is it only like one person a day can trade with Bigfoot? Like, are we going to limit that? Or how should it go?
If a group of people find Bigfoot, I think each of them should get the opportunity to trade with him. But each person has a different item that they will be traded.
Okay.
Unless
because they're not going to.
Unless the random chance somehow gives them the same item.
Yeah, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with this new Bigfoot character. Also, in the summer, as a random Easter egg encounter, he will wear shorts.
Okay.
He might even sing a tune.
Give him seasonal outfits.
Yes, seasonal outfits. In the fall, he looks like fall and winter. Okay, no. Fall, he's brown. Winter, he's white. Spring, I don't know. Maybe he's dark. Maybe orange. And then in the summer, I don't know. Maybe he's blonde.
I think dark brown during the
brown?
Dark brown during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Orange during the fall.
Okay.
White during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And then gray in the spring.
And then I also would give him a sash so he can pull it out of his bag.
Yes.
To make it, let's give it a little bit of logic in there so he grabs something random.
Yes.
I think out of all our like additions, I like this one the most.
This is actually the funniest one.
Wait. Add it to it. So is there any okay? So we've established what his items are. So what are the chances of finding them? Can you buff that like through in-game like mechanics, or is it like you
It's
just have
strictly
to wait till he shows up?
it's strictly based on random chance.
Okay, but to make it a little bit fair though, he walks everywhere now. He's no longer found. He will walk in your neighborhood
all over the place.
Yeah.
So you can find Bigfoot. We'll say everywhere that there's trees, that there's like big groups of trees, is where he will spawn.
How many trees though?
I'd say like my yard's worth of trees. So he could spawn in my side yard because of the amount of trees.
Yeah. And you have 5 minutes before he despawns and he goes somewhere else.
And the more trees, the higher likelihood he has to spawn.
Okay.
So like going to the park, he'll have a certain percentage of spawn rate. But going to the forest, he'll have a little bit higher of a percentage.
Okay. I think we've made a good character here. Out of all of our buffs, this is the one I want.
I don't know. I still kind of like the alligators are everywhere.
I love that one. I threw that one out. I'm like,
alligators are everywhere, and animals can now communicate with us. I think might be some of the most. No, the most beneficial is the mosquito one. That's the most beneficial buff.
Yeah, out of all of them, that one would be it. Yeah, I think I like that one the most. Oh, you can get like an RPG out of Bigfoot.
You could.
That'd be crazy.
You could get a nuke from Bigfoot.
Could you get the Holy Grail? Okay, wait a minute. Going back on the Bigfoot thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you receive objects that have abilities to them, like almost in a weird way, CS:GO style? Could you get like a super epic item? Like, could you hypothetically get? Okay, how am I going to phrase this? Could you get the sword of Sir Lancelot, not Lancelot, King Arthur?
Well, technically, that would fall under there's only one of that item, so he couldn't.
But nobody owns it though. I think it's only under ownership. I think that's the one thing, because I would love to just fucking get a crazy thing.
So just anything he can find then.
Not anything he.
So if
anything he can find that's not owned. That's
anything he can find that's not owned can be something. So he could feasibly go on eBay and get like an old Star Wars toy set.
Yeah.
And get that.
Yeah.
Because it could feasibly be purchased by a person. Anything that can be feasibly found or purchased legally by a person can be found at Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And that's by any person. So like legally speaking, the US military can buy an RPG. So Bigfoot can buy an RPG.
So by that metric, you can technically, as crazy as it would be, you could in theory get the spear that pierced Jesus.
Yeah.
By random chance. Now is it the real one or the replicas? I don't know, but it could be.
You never know.
Could be.
You can
get the first Bible.
It's about as unknowing as when you buy them from
auction.
An auction. It's like, is this the legit thing or is this a fake? We don't know. But you got it for $150.
Do animals count in this, or is it just items?
Just items.
Just items? Okay. I was about to say, if auctions counted, imagine just getting a fucking horse.
Because
pull that out. Does it come with the saddle? No, probably.
Because then that brings in other issues, as you could feasibly then argue that Bigfoot could trade you a whole human person, which
that'd be crazy.
Would not be good. So it can't be living. But also, I think that's all the time we have for this episode.
Yeah.
There's our update. We put it out there. Hopefully, the devs take note and take some of our ideas and apply it to Earth.
Yeah, I really hope for that Bigfoot update. I think it would really add
that
a lot.
Bigfoot update would then make all those finding Bigfoot shows a lot more interesting.
No.
They already added it.
No, I just saw an update for Helldivers. I'll tell you afterwards. That's fucking crazy.
Oh no.
Wait a minute.
All right, gang. We gotta get going. Thanks for watching.
I gotta fucking dispense Super Earth.
We gotta go. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.